Today I'm going to talk specifically about how to transform DevOps with GitHub Copilot. So I'm going to approach this one from the Copilot and the Copilot extension and extensibility features, how it's connecting development, operations, and the ecosystem. So before that, let me give a short intro of me. I'm Shiva, working as a Director of DevOps in CEI, Computer Enterprises Inc. And I'm very much interested in GitHub spaces, and also I'm heavily working on the AI and the generative AI kind of solutions as well. So we are like a GitHub and Octopus deploy partner. We are in fact GitHub advanced partner, where we are helping our customers, more than 25 plus customers in last year, on helping adopting the GitHub Copilot, and then helping them to um, make sure they are using the GitHub Copilot very well on their integrations and all. So we have a good amount of experience on how GitHub Copilot works and which direction it's going, those kind of things. So today you can see those things reflecting in my presentation as well, right? So I just put together the agenda. So the three-part agenda today. Obviously, a DevOps is a story of bridges, right? So DevOps is going to connect the development and operations, human and machines, automation and innovation. So how a GitHub Copilot is started as a coding suggestion tool, and with the new set of the features and the new direction the GitHub Copilot is going, it's not only writing the code or giving the code suggestion. Now the GitHub Copilot is trying to complete the narrative, right? By becoming an essential partner for development and operations in complete SDLC DevOps lifecycle. So that's why today I'm going to focus on really on what is GitHub Copilot, and what are the GitHub Copilot extension features, and then practical use cases on how we are using GitHub Copilot and GitHub Copilot extension in development, operations, and the ecosystem integrations. You might have already seen the Octopus deploy Copilot extension demo yesterday. So today I'm going to cover that, and then going to take the next level on how you can build your own extension, and what are the other practical use cases you can achieve that using the GitHub Copilot extension, right? And finally, your takeaways for accelerating your DevOps process with the AI. So the first thing is about the GitHub Copilot and extension. The GitHub Copilot is the world's most widely adopted AI developer tool. So Copilot started 1-2 years before, and the tool was awesome. The tool is bringing all the AI coding suggestions. So whenever you are writing the code, it's just a great Copilot for you. It understands what you are typing based on your context and all, and then it's giving the great coding suggestions, right? So this is the basic working of GitHub Copilot so far. So whenever you are typing in your editor, VS Code or JetBrains, the context that would be going to the GitHub Copilot service, and then GitHub Copilot service is using OpenAI Codex model to bring you back the suggestions you want, right? You can enable or disable the public code suggestions inclusions, but overall the working pattern, or the working functionality of the GitHub Copilot is this way. But recently, the GitHub and Microsoft, they are pushing the GitHub Copilot to start integrating into the ecosystems, right? Not only within your IDE, how you can really get the information from external API, or how you can really take the GitHub Copilot functionality and wrap that for your specific use case. So that's where the extensibility features that's coming in, right? So you can see there are two types of extensibility model the GitHub is providing. One is like the GitHub Copilot extension that is more on the platform level, right? So you can like create a GitHub app and then say like, okay, all these chat messages forward that to me, and I'm having a web server that's listening those messages. And in the web server, you can use like the GitHub Copilot model, or you can use like the third-party OpenAI or Claude model. So whatever like you want to use, you can like use it in your web server, and then say like, okay, this is the response for you, right? So this is where like how pretty much the Octopus deploy extension works. So the Octopus deploy extension, whenever like you are invoking the Octopus deploy AA app, it knows like, okay, I have to query the status of the deployments, or I have to query like the runbook logs of my deployment. So it's like querying that and then getting the information back to your Copilot chat itself. So once this extension is like opened up, you are not only going to use for development purpose, you are also going to use for the deployment purpose, right? So previously, like you are using it for like some scripting or doing some development activities. Now you are like also looking for, without leaving the context, you are also looking for like, okay, what is going on in your deployment within the IE itself or within the Copilot itself, right? So that way, like you are getting all the information, not only the information, the more insights on the information the Octopus deploy is providing, right? So that's where like we are bringing this AI capability and the future to all these the information we are getting from the external services or the ecosystem of tools. The other part of the extension is like more on the client side, right? So as a GitHub platform, you are having GitHub Copilot extension. At the same time, there is a rich um, rich like a ecosystem or rich context in the VS Code IDE itself. So Microsoft like recently announced like their VS Code chat extensibility as well. So without like hitting the platform, you can like build another VS Code extension that is able to be the part of your chat, so that like that extension would be able to do more than what GitHub Copilot chat is like already providing, right? So that way like you can build like the n number of possibilities on the use cases, like okay, how we can build this developer experience on interacting with your platform or interacting specifically for your use cases. Those kind of things you can handle at like the VS Code client level as well, right? So both like the platform level extension and also like the client level extension, that is giving like a lot of opportunities to build the new way of developer experience. Everything is like AI powered, and we are giving like insight, as much as insight the AI can give based on the information it is able to collect, right? So more than that, like the other announcements are like the Copilot is going more on like multi-model. Previously, it was like only OpenAI Codex. Now it's like you can bring like Claude, you can bring like Vertex AI, those kind of different models also you can bring. And also like they have the GitHub models where you can like pick one of your favorite LLM, and then like you can start using for your use cases, right? So that's where like I'm thinking or like envisioning in the future. Like so far we have used GitHub Copilot is mostly for our development purpose, but like these announcement and these features that has been like recently announced, that's going to be like a great integration point for the third party applications as well, right? So Octopus deploy, they have been like already pioneered this, and that's where like you have seen the Octopus deploy Copilot extension, where you can like do all the query, everything from your Copilot context itself, right? So that's what like I'm planning to do some demo today. Like how does it work? I'm going to show like what are the practical use cases we are using as part of the Copilot chat feature itself. So I'm going to show like some demo on how the Octopus deploy extension works, and also like the Azure extension. So how you can like still within your IDE, but like you can like able to query your Azure resources, do some diagnostic on Azure resources, and you can ask like some question about the Azure resources. So I'm going to like walk through that. And also like we have built couple of GitHub Copilot extension within our organization for um, some inner source capability and also like incident management tool perspective. So I'm going to like walk through that as well, to quickly show that to you like what are the capabilities the Copilot extension is able to provide, and think through how you can like create that kind of integrations for you, right? Okay, so let me quickly switch to the demo part of it. Okay, so here is like the VS Code IDE. So one of like my favorite IDE. We are like using it like every day, right? So you can like install the GitHub Copilot extension that would be giving like the chat feature. So one of the new features they have announced is like multi-file edit also. So previously you can do like chat, now you can like do the multiple edits, so that like you can ask like, okay, I want to create a Terraform um, file that deploys web app, Azure web app, Cosmos DB, and storage accounts, right? So if you do that, then like in the chat previously, it will give you like the information you have to like copy, or you have to move the answers from the chat to the editor, right? With the Copilot inline edit, now everything is like um, you are giving the prompt, and Copilot is like taking ownership of editing those files and keep on like adding the information in the files itself, right? Not only in like one file, you can ask for like, okay, create these files, or like create the different modules and services. Then like the Copilot edit feature, the multi-file edit, it would be able to like take the information and create multiple files for you, right? So that's like a cool, awesome feature there. Now, like, let's come to the chat component of it. So in the chat component, you can see, you can like start asking the question, and also if you like start mentioning, you can see like what are the plugin, the extensions that's available, so that you can like use the query to do the extension calls for it, right? Let's say like a Octopus AI app. So I have like installed the Octopus Copilot extension within our organization. So now you can like query the Octopus AI app. So I have like already connected this Octopus AI app with like the sample instance. So we can say like, okay, show me the dashboard for the space integration flyway. So this is the space like we have in the Octopus deploy samples instance. So whenever like you are asking these kind of queries, the Copilot extension that would be kicking off, and then like it's able to query the deployment status for your space, and then show that in the chat itself, right? So whenever like I'm working there, I'm not like switching my context, I'm getting all this information in my chat itself, right? Again, like not only the information, we are also getting like the insights from the information. So you can ask for like the specific the other things, such as like, okay, describe the latest release of Trident in the staging environment, right? Then it should be able to like get all the details of the information, like when the build happens, what are like the commit histories, and what are like the release notes in those deployment. So basically like you can get all those information from the Octopus deploy. The dashboard you are seeing, pretty much like that's integrated with your new AI powered workflow itself, right? So this is like very cool. We can like go ahead and try the different prompts, and Octopus AI app, they have like a given like what are the prompt library you can use to ask like a different status and questions from the Octopus deploy. So this is like a more awesome now. Like the other thing is the Azure also like bringing these kind of the extensibility, the features. So for example, you can see like this is a Azure plugin from VS Code, right? And I have like my subscription, and I have like a lot of app services. So this is like our Adopter Cats Copilot website. So I can like go ahead and ask like, okay, I'm going to ask Azure on like certain things, right? For example, like, okay, show me the status of uh, the Adopter Cats Copilot web app. So now like we are asking more from that, not only like getting the information like how to do. Now we are getting the information on what's really going on within my Azure subscription, right? What is like status of my resource, or like how I can see the logs of my resource. So now like it's directly connecting to that, and then say like um, trying to get the information back, right? Now I have like a see two things. So let's see the show me the Copilot Azure web app in resource group. So now like it's trying to get like all the information directly from the Azure resource query itself, right? So you can see like it's trying to connect to the app logs, it's querying the app logs, and it's trying to get like the information and make the insights and giving the result to you. So that's where like I'm seeing this is not just like querying the documentation, like hey, how to do or how to perform this operation. Now the Copilot extension can bring the capability to do the operation itself for you, right? So you can see like what's the status here, and how you can like query the logs, those kind of things. Not only that, you can ask for like, okay, I want to do the diagnose, right? So let's say like are there any specific areas in the Adopter Cats Copilot web app that you think need improvement, right? So now it's triggering the diagnostic agent, and then like looking for any specific problems within your resources, and come up with a solution like, okay, how you can improve these, right? Is it like memory problem, or is it like some configuration problem? So it basically run like diagnostics for you. So that's why like as I said before, the Copilot chat, or like these kind of chat functionality, not just from like giving the information. Now it's like more than the information, right? Now it's like do your job, and then come up with like the final result, or go and get all the information you have and come up with the insights. So that kind of thing, right? So now you are seeing like the series of steps that's going on, doing like scale capacity checks, doing like diagnostic check, and finally like it's analyzing the diagnostic results, and then come up with like, okay, the scaling is the thing you can improve. Right now like it's running in the production load, but like you can scale for like additional 20% thing, right? Or like the auto scale profile is not configured, setting up the auto scaling profile would be like a helping for you. So it's bringing like that kind of capability for you to like do the operations there. There are like a lot of other things you can do, like checking for the cost, and then do some learning stuff, and directly like accessing the resource and all. And it's like continuously improving also, because this is mostly in like the preview state. So before like it's coming to like GA state, you can see there will be like a lot of things you can do in Azure from the Copilot space itself, right? So that's why like I'm seeing the shift in the dynamics, how it's like changing from development to, okay, you can do the Octopus deployment, and you can do like all these operations within the Azure, those kind of things, right? So that's like really good thing, and it's opening like a lot of possibilities, as I have like already mentioned. So there are like a lot of other plugins besides the the Octopus deploy and other stuff. So as I said, like there are two types of extension, right? One extension you can install as a platform. So that's where like you can get like Stack Overflow, Octopus deploy, launch darkly, and there are like a few other your favorite tools extension would be available already here, right? Like a JFrog and all. So you can like install this extension in the GitHub organization, and then like everyone within your organization, they can like start using the Copilot. And the other extension you can like get from the VS Code extension marketplace itself, but those are all like a client extension. That's where like it's adding more features to your VS Code context itself, right? So at some point, like I'm seeing like both are adding the different perspectives. For example, right now Octopus deploy is like mostly doing the server side queries, right? But like if we have to bring that kind of developer experience for editing the Octopus deploy configurations, those kind of things, then like you can see the client side extension also. I'm not saying like Octopus deploy is building, but like that's where I'm seeing overall like how this extensibility model is going to help us in like making the developer experience better. The other thing is like we have built our own like extension within our CEI team. So we are like a DevOps practice, right? So I have like team members, and we are like primarily focusing on GitHub and engagements, GitHub related engagements. So we have built our own extension for like the inner source capabilities, right? So we call our name called like our team called like Adopt Cats, because GitHub is a cat kind of thing. So we are helping like GitHub adoption. So we are Adopt Cats. So we have like built our extension mostly on like okay, getting all the information that's related for our day-to-day purposes, right? How to do the migration, or how to do like how to solve like specific the GitHub related problems or Git related queries, those kind of things. So you can like add some prompt engineering, so that like you can like customize your responses and all. So the one thing we have done is like, since we are Adopt Cats, basically like our chatbot, it's giving like the response like the cat theme response, right? So you can see like our chat is like, Meowdy, I'm fine, how can I assist you today, right? Then we can ask like, okay, how to migrate from git to git lfs using migrate command, something like that. And then it will like bring that information from website, and also like our inner source document to give that like the response back. And we have like a fine tune our prompt so that like it keeps the cat themed response all the time, right? So the other thing is like we have also having our managed services team. So our managed services team is like pretty much, they are like handling a lot of incidents, right? So whenever like the new incident comes in, they have to like go check the run book, and then see like, okay, what I have to do for this incident, or what historically we have done for this incident, those kind of things. So we have like a generative AI engine specifically deployed for our managed services team, which we have like connected with the ITSM like systems, right? So you can say like that's another bot here, the clairvoyance bot. So here we can say like, okay, list my incidents to work on, right? Then like it's querying the incidents, and then come back like, okay, these are the incidents you have, and this is what like the title and description, right? So from here we have like solved a lot of problems like this for the client system. Then you can ask for like, okay, let's do the troubleshooting on this incident, right? So if I do the troubleshooting, then like it will analyze the historical incidents, and also like the details around the incident, and then it come up with like, okay, these are the recommended resolution you have to take, right? So it's basically like within few clicks, or like within without like going away from the context, we are able to tap our own knowledge base and integrated that with the workflow, the Copilot chat workflow, so that we can get that insights from the information we have, so that the level 1 support engineer, level 2 support engineer, they can quickly get into the problem and then solve based on the recommended resolutions the AI is providing, right? So everything is get from our run books and then get from the incident ITS and systems. So that's how I'm seeing how it start from development and how we are using it for the deployment activities, and then how we can directly query the Azure, directly query the cloud resources and do some diagnostic around it, and how you can integrate it with your incident management workflows, right? So basically this is where I'm seeing that kind of shift, okay, the Copilot chat features and capabilities, that's giving a great experience for developers, right? Now with this extension capabilities and all, we are bringing a more information and insights from all these systems, and then having the DevOps personnel figured out in a one place, right? So this is really cool, where I'm seeing a lot of possibilities around that. So finally, I want to do one more thing here. So a couple of takeaways, right? So the takeaways I'm seeing, we have done a GitHub Copilot adoption for 25 plus customers, as I have already said. So the one thing my partner Chris, he will keep on saying is if you think GitHub Copilot is another tool, you'll be getting middling results, right? We have to think as this as a transformation tool. Really, you can see this is getting into the transformation world, right? So now not only from the developer perspective, using this extension more from the DevOps and then the other ecosystems integrations. So from that perspective also, now Copilot is going beyond coding, right? The Copilot extension and then these kind of extensibility, that's bringing more innovation to our day-to-day workflows. So the one thing I would suggest is always start small and think big, right? So identify areas in your workflows where customization bring a significant impact, right? So first start from your ecosystem of tools. If you are already using GitHub Copilot, that's great. But start thinking from okay, what is your ecosystem, the tools ecosystem, and is there any GitHub Copilot extension the tool is providing, Octopus deploy or JFrog, and how you can start bringing those insights within your day-to-day workflows, right? And then you can start explore the Copilot extension from the your organization specific use cases as well, right? And the second thing is obviously this is bridging the gaps. So the between the development and operation, humans and machine, as I said, the Copilot extension is going to really close the gaps in skill, knowledge, and efficiency. So that's where we have to consistently looking for what are the places where we can bring these kind of AI tools and then the Copilot capabilities to continuously push it forward, right? And the final thing is adopt a new mindset. Obviously it's not a tool, it's a partner. So you can see how effectively this is bringing the change in the development and then DevOps workflows. So I would suggest we have to really step back and think in a new mindset that would be transforming how we are building and operating in the software ecosystem. So those are the takeaways I would say. As I said, we have marketplace. Let's start small and think big, so that we can open a lot of future opportunities using Copilot extension. So with that one, thanks for like attending my session. I hope like this session would be helpful and giving like certain insights on how Copilot extension that would help you. So thanks everyone there.
Awesome stuff, Shiva. Thank you very much. That was great. I didn't realize that you guys were building one yourself. How's the experience been so far?
Yeah, the experience is great. It was like a pretty new, right? So we are like start building that now. That's why like I'm thinking of like previously GitHub Copilot is like making sure the engineer is like AI powered. Now it's making really as like a AI engineer, right? So now we are like playing through, okay, these are the information we already have, how we can like prompt that information so that we can bring that insights from those information. So really like we are doing a lot from the LLM capabilities and how we can like bring the insights or like the data to the LLM, those kind of things. So it's really cool. And the one thing like from the GitHub perspective, they have like made this Copilot extension development pretty easier because
Okay.
it's like another simple web server, right? So now like they have made like lot easier for anyone can like start integrating their plugins and integrating their use cases. So I really see like there is a mature roadmap that GitHub and Microsoft providing on doing these extensions.
My experience with this so far has been that it's very much unidirectional. What I mean by that is, you're sending commands through to GitHub Copilot saying, "Tell me this, tell me that." Um, where's your head at when it comes to performing operations? So we see this right now with CodeGen, but are you guys investigating like, okay, like in the example you showed, like let's triage an issue, but you were just kind of querying it, right? You weren't doing any operations against it. Where's your head at with operations that are bi-directional, meaning I can send commands through to Copilot through my extension, I can do clever things with it?
Yeah, right now, like that's where the next steps on it, right? The more the agentic workflow nature kind of things. Now, pretty much like everything is, as you have said, like it's a unitransactional. We have to trigger the query. We have to ask the agents to like start working on it. But I'm sure like the GitHub team will bring like that kind of the the unidirectional things. So we have like tested some patterns around that, like where uh, we have separate the GitHub actions. The GitHub
Yep.
actions like continuously doing the checks and then like doing triggering the API. But right now, like there is no mechanism for like a hey Shiva, this is what like going on, that kind of notification related features, right? So I'm sure like there would be some design patterns like GitHub might be bringing up to have like the bidirectional conversation as well, where most of the agentic nature that would be running in GitHub Actions are like outside of the platform, right?